This is a problem with a lot of editors. They're just focused on getting better at editing, but it doesn't matter how good you are at editing if no one's buying your services. You're not going to make a living doing this if you don't know how to. Hello and welcome to the Video Editor Collective podcast. This is our first episode. The goal for this podcast is just to bring my message in the movement we're doing within this school community that I started with the help of some other editors. And the goal is really just to spread our message of teaching editors how to go and find work. That's the gist of what we do. You know, you can go online and you can learn how to edit videos on YouTube, and it's easy. That's the easy part of this career. But learning how to sell your services, learning how to market, and learning how to go find your own clients, that's the hard part. And that's what I'm focusing on with the school community that I started. And now with this podcast, hopefully we can spread that message even further and help more people, help more video editors go out and find more work, get higher paying clients, stop getting taken advantage of by these people looking for cheap work. You know, the key to success with video editing and making a living doing it is learning sales and marketing. So that's what we're teaching here. I have today my first guest on a podcast. Here we have Sub. He's from Pakistan, from Lahore, Pakistan. And he was one of my first members in the community. And he's been with me for a couple months. Sub reached out to me on Instagram back in January. You know, I started my personal brand back in September. Sub found me in January, and he reached out. He sent me a DM and we just started a conversation. Over the next few weeks, he just interacted with my content. He commented on stuff. He shot me messages when he let me know that content was resonating with him, where he was finding value. He gave me feedback on what was working and what wasn't. And never once did he ask for a job from me. You know, I get DMs every day from editors asking for work. And Sub, you know, maybe that was his goal all along, which is awesome. You know, he was looking for work. He's a video editor. You know, you're always opening yourself for opportunities. But his outreach strategy with me, and you don't even need to consider it a strategy, he was really just starting a relationship, and it worked. You know, over the next few weeks, we were in communication on DM. You know, we're similar guys. We both edit videos for a living, so we relate. So we were just sharing our experiences back and forth. And eventually over a month or two of knowing Sub, I had some opportunities open up where I needed video editors for the agency that I work with, for one of my freelance clients, for my own personal brand. You know, I was like, you know, I do all this video editing for a living, and I needed help editing my own content because I'm too busy editing content for clients. These opportunities presented themselves. And because Sub was in my DMs, you know, talking with me, you know, regularly, he let me know that I knew that he was a good video editor. He became someone that I got to know and like and trust. He was the first person I thought of when these opportunities came up. And since that time, he's edited many of my talking head reels. You know, I would say about half of the content that I post on Instagram today is edited by Sub, and he does an awesome job. He really did a good job of matching my style early on and giving it his own spin, and his quality was always up to my standards. And so that's kind of where we started. And since then, he started working for video marketing agency that I manage the video editors for, a marketing agency out of California called Millennial Media Group. I've been with them for about 3 years now. I started as a video editor, and then I transitioned over the past year or two managing their team of editors. And part of the reason I started this community on Skool, the Video Editor Collective, was to build my network of video editors to be able to use them within the client work that I do. We're really starting to make that happen now. Sub was my first hire, again, because he was like, you know, one of the earliest people to start engaging with me. Things have been working really well so far. He has been an integral part of our team the past maybe 2 months, month or two. He's been working with us, and he's just grown more and more. That's the power of the internet. That's the power of, you know, me starting this personal brand for video editors. I was able to meet a guy like Sub who lives literally on the opposite side of the world as me, and now we got this really good thing going. I was able to find a good, reliable video editor. Things that this is something that I struggled with, managing video editors from the United States. A lot of them, not only can they get more expensive, but some of them are more entitled. You know, nothing against US editors, but I'm a US editor. You know, Sub provided, a different look at things. and it's been really great for us so far. So that's my little intro on Sub. Why don't you just give us your own version of that intro? Tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you come from, how long you've been editing, and just where you're at in your journey as a video editor.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I don't want to add another thing to that intro, as amazing it was. A little bit of a description about me and where I'm from. So, I'm from Pakistan. In 2023, I decided to start video editing. I started posting content on Instagram. It was the first time that I was editing content for myself. Before that, I was a video editor on YouTube. I used to create a lot of content like, creating YouTube videos and running those faceless YouTube channels. So that's like where the video editing thing came from. And then I thought, it's time for change, and like personal branding that was popping off at that time. So I thought to jump on that van, and then I started creating content for my page. And from that, I still remember that day, one of my client, he reached out to me on Instagram. Like, he was literally my first client ever. So he asked me to do the Alex Hormozy type of edits. I was like doing those edits for my page. He saw that, this guy has the potential. He can do the edits that I want. He hired me on Upwork, and then from there, the freelancing journey like began. And then I like worked with a lot of amazing people from all around the world. And now I'm sitting with Carl. As amazing as the opportunity is, like working for Carl, managing your personal brand, and then working with MMG.
Awesome. So how long in total have you been doing client work now?
I would say around about 1 year. 11 March 2023 was when I got my first client.
Okay. That's kind of crazy because, your content is really good. Your skills are really good. And this just goes to show for other editors that it doesn't take that long to get good at editing. It doesn't take that long to get up to speed, to be able to put out a product that people will pay for. So you've been editing like professionally, we'll say, for about a year. I don't think you need to improve your editing much more. Like, you don't need to be watching tutorials on how to edit better. You're good. You're great. You've been great for our agency. So, and this is a problem with a lot of editors. They're just focused on getting better at editing, but it doesn't matter how good you are at editing if no one's buying your services.
Absolutely.
So I tell this to all video editors is get good enough to put out a product that people will pay for, and then learn how to market and sell your service. Yeah, like I said, you're not gonna make a living doing this if you don't know how to market and sell. So a lot of editors are just focused on getting good at editing. That only goes so far.
I mean, like, I was doing video editing, you can say about 2016, because as I told you, I was creating YouTube videos, and then I was running those faceless YouTube channels. I also jumped on TikTok, but none of that worked. So all that experience of video editing came from there. Then I like jumped into offering my services professionally 1 year back.
Okay. That makes sense. So, I mean, so you did have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And that's what most editors come from, is like starting it as a hobby. Like for me, I got into video because I made, when I was a teenager, I was a skateboarder and I made skateboard videos. So me and my friends, we had a little camera and we went around and we filmed each other. And then I was the editor, and I would make the videos for us. So, for me, it started as a hobby too. And I think that's how most people get into it. They're starting their YouTube channel and they're editing gaming videos and stuff like that. But I think that the point still stands that you don't need to be the best editor to make money doing it. You don't need to take forever to get good at, or to focus on editing skills. Like, we really need to focus on making money doing this, right? So you talked a little bit about how you got that first client. That's awesome that it came inbound. You didn't even like go out and seek them. They found you. And that's the power of a personal brand. Maybe let's get into why having a personal brand as a video editor is important. What do you think? You were able to find your first client just because you posted some videos on your Instagram. What do you think about it?
Absolutely. Like, moving into 2024, personal branding is a crucial thing. Your marketer he will sleep. But your personal brand, it's not going to sleep. Like, it is marketing you 24/7 on social media if you're running ads, creating videos. So I think like having a personal brand, it can land you a lot of opportunities. I still know people who just started 2 months back. They started offering their services professionally, and through their personal brand, they were able to land 6 figure deals or 5 figure deals. So I think
Really?
that, yeah, having a personal brand is a really crucial thing moving into 2025.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think a personal brand is important for any profession for the most part. But as video editors, it's certainly one of the best ways that we can find work, and that work can find us, that clients can find us. I always say you should just claim more digital real estate, basically. You know, the more places you can be online, the more opportunities you have for people to find you. And I think Instagram account is one of the best places to be as a video editor. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, Instagram is really easy for anyone to jump on. Like, the barrier to entry is very minimal. You just need good lighting, an
Yep.
iPhone to record your videos, and you could be landing
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
deals per day.
That's for sure. That's for sure. I think we could get into too, as a video editor, how should you go about your Instagram account? How should, like, what type of stuff should you post? How, like, what strategies can you use to attract potential clients? And then once those potential clients do find you, what's the next step? How do they begin working with you? What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
So, like, as a video editor, the content you should create should be revolving around how you can bring value to your client. Just solving their problems, how you can help their business grow, how you can help their business make money. People don't hire video editors just for the videos. They need video editors to boost their business, to make more money off of videos. A lot of video editors, like, the reason they get fired from their job is that they're just creating videos. They're not bringing any value to the table. I think a lot of your content should also revolve around you
Yeah.
because it's your personal brand. I think like it's your personal brand, so you should showcase your personality over there.
There you
Like,
go.
people work with people, so you should show yourself over there and how it's like to work with you.
Totally. Totally. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. People don't want to work with a logo or a brand. I hate when I go to video editors' profiles and it's just like a brand and they don't show themselves at all. They all look the same. Like, your work doesn't stand out from everybody else's. There's probably a million other Instagram accounts just like yours. And you got to think about it. Like, most of our clients doing short form content, most of them aren't looking for like the most amazing video edits to have on their personal brand. They just have like some talking head footage that needs some B-roll, needs some captions, and needs some music. It doesn't need to be like these 3D animated After Effects reels. You don't need to display that your work is top notch. So there's going to be a lot of similar looking edits. The way you stand out from these other editors is by not hiding behind a brand or a logo, is by showing up on camera, showing who you are. It is called a personal brand after all. And, as video editors, sure, we can talk to potential clients. I think we have different audiences as a video editor who's looking for clients on Instagram. So I like the strategy of a lot of your content could be, especially if you want your account to grow and you want to get followers and engagement on your content. You're a video editor. You should be posting content, at least a lot of content, maybe not all of it, but a lot of your content should be talking to other video
Yeah.
editors. Those are the people that are going to resonate with your content, with your experience. They're going to follow you because they're like you. And that's how you can use that to grow your account. So helping other video editors, sharing your experience as a video editor, other video editors are going to be interested in that type of content. That's how you can grow your account. Now, like a business owner or a potential client, maybe they don't really care about following a video editor,
Yeah.
right? They might not really, like a real estate agent, for example, probably isn't going to follow a video editor on Instagram for the most part. But when the real estate agent or that business owner comes to your account, they need to see certain things. They need to see who you are. You should also be posting content geared toward that potential client. And one of the strategies I like to recommend is your top 3 posts should be pinned, and your top 3 posts should be geared toward a client. So it's almost like using your Instagram account as a landing page. If you think about the journey of a client looking for a video editor, maybe they go on Instagram and they just search, they go to the search feature and they type in video editor. And because you're constantly on Instagram talking about video editing, your profile comes up. So now they go, maybe they click on some of your content, and maybe you are talking about video editing, but they're like, hey, this is a video editor. He's talking about video editing. He's showing up on camera. He's showing me who he is. He's showing me his personality. They go to your account. Now they're on your profile. Now they see your top 3 posts, your pinned posts. Those posts are talking to the client now. Those posts are showing who you are, the services you offer them. Maybe you have a reel that provides some testimonials and some social proof about your past work. Maybe one of those top 3 pin posts is like a show reel, or it's just like it's a reel so they can click it and they can see the quality of your work. So there's these couple things that a potential client needs to see before they begin working with you. So I like that strategy of like having like these 2 audiences on Instagram, right? Like, cause you know, like I said, a client might not follow you on Instagram. So if you're only posting content for like a potential client, like you might not grow, but I think it's still important to post that content. But also you mentioned like posting content to demonstrate that you are more than an editor, posting content and this type of stuff goes for both the audiences, right? Like a video editor will resonate with that content as well, right? Because you're giving value to a video editor, maybe expressing that like as a video editor, we should also get good at learning how to build landing pages or how to create thumbnails. You know, a potential client sees that and they see that you're focused on getting them results with the videos you edit. There's a lot to it, but I think you're exactly right. Like, you know, you need to be displaying that you're more than just an editor, and you also need to show who you are. Like you said, people like to work with people.
Absolutely.
We got a couple other questions here that we were going to touch on. We're going to touch on working at an agency versus working directly with clients. What's your experience been like?
So working with one-on-one clients, like you're always in tension that this client is going to quit sooner or later, and then you have to constantly find new clients to make constant stream of income. But when you're working with an agency, it's just like working in a factory. Like, you know, you are getting the work constantly and your stream of income, it is also constant. I think that video editors, they should start working with one-on-one clients, and then they should make their way into securing a job in an agency. Not only that will streamline their workflow, but also their income. So it's been great working with an agency so far.
Yeah, I love that model of, as a video editor, of securing some type of consistent income. You know, I actually have a full-time job where I work, it's 36 hours a week, which leaves me time to do work outside of that. You know, I work about 50 hours a week total. But for me, always having some kind of secure source of income has always been super important. And that doesn't mean you have to get a full-time job. Like for you, example, well, you work for us, it's part-time, but it's a consistent source of income. It's something that you can rely on every week, and you don't have to worry about the client leaving. You know, and then what happens when the client leaves and they were like 50% or 80% of your income, and now you're left scrambling trying to find a new client. As a video editor, I love the model of finding some type of consistent work. So a lot of editors want to just be freelancers, but that's really hard. So I think there's a way to do both. Like you work for us part-time and we provide you some consistent work, but then you still have time to go find your own clients, right? And maybe with the working for an agency or having a job or a part-time job, maybe you're not going to make as much money per hour or per project, but at least it's consistent, and you don't have to worry about going out and finding work. You know, that process of like finding a new client, that's work that you're not getting paid for. You know, you're not getting paid until you start editing. So all this time you spend on doing this outreach and stuff like that also goes into the freelancing, you know, model, right? So yeah, I always tell editors, secure some type of consistent income. If you can get like a client that's going to do that and build like this really good relationship, like great. But I like the model of, jumping in for an agency, even if you do it part-time, and then go find like your high-paying clients outside of that. What's your plan going forward with working for Millennial Media Group? What are you planning on doing like in addition to that?
Moving forward, I think I want to secure a safe spot so that I become a valuable team member for MMG. This way, I don't have to worry about finding
Yeah.
clients on my own. I want to climb up the ladder and become a valuable member in MMG.
Yeah, and so far you're doing exactly that. You know, I started with MMG as just an editor, like where you're at right now. You know, when I started, the owner of the company was still doing a lot of the editing. He has since removed himself from the pretty much the whole entire process. Now he mostly just works on sales. And like that's going to be like, you know, our plans for the company. Like I said, I only work part-time for this company too, but my plan for the company is really to transition you into like what I'm doing now. I'm the one editing all the hard projects for the company. So we have a lot of clients that are pretty picky. Some of their, you know, all of our client or most of our clients are monthly reoccurring retainer packages. We do some a la carte projects where it's just, you know, one-off projects here and there, but most like our business model is monthly packages, and some of our monthly clients are pretty tough. So right now what I'm doing with you is getting you up to speed on all of our different clients, and you know, eventually you'll be able to edit the videos for all of our clients like right now, like I've been doing. And then like once we get you there, and then possibly even transition you, you know, maybe I do continue like overseeing editors and being like this manager of editors, but you know, maybe you do transition into that role someday too, and we kind of get me on to just what the owner of our company is doing. Is like his job right now is to bring in new clients, and he's super ambitious, he's really good at it, and it's something that I'm good at too. But right now I don't have the time to do that, to do the sales and the marketing for the company, because I'm so busy handling the edits. So kind of part of our plan moving forward with the company is to get me into more of a sales and marketing role, to get me going out and finding more clients. You know, we've been working really hard to find guys like you to fulfill these services. So like we can only go out and sell so many packages before like we're not able to provide, you know, to supply the work. So part of the reason I started the Video Editor Collective is to be able to have a network of video editors that are able to provide to fulfill those services. And yeah, you're the first one to come in from the community. Our goal is just to get you more and more involved with the company. Our goal is to continue finding more clients, which is honestly isn't that hard for us to do. We're based in LA, so our packages are pretty expensive, and you know, there's opportunity out there. That's like the hub of where people are doing personal branding and stuff like that. So we have a great reputation out there. A lot of people want to work with us, but we're still kind of getting our systems in place and making sure we can fulfill all these all these contracts. So yeah, you're just going to get more and more involved in the company. I think it's a great opportunity for any editor from overseas to come and work for a US based video agency. That's a great opportunity. You know, maybe a US based agent or a video editor, it might not be as good of an opportunity for them. But I think for someone like you, you're pretty young. You're still a little bit earlier in your career. So for you to come and work with us has been great for us, but I think it's also a great opportunity for you. And you know, we're definitely looking forward to just growing you into more and more of a key piece of our team.
Right.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing where that goes. I think we covered working with an agency versus freelancing. It's definitely a topic that I'm all over. You know, a lot of people like to be just freelancers, and they love this freelance lifestyle of getting able to work from home and getting able to work from wherever you want and being your own boss and stuff like that. I think a lot of it sounds better than it actually is. Being a freelancer is really hard. You have to be a business owner when you're a freelancer. You have to do all your accounting, and you have to do all your sales and marketing. Whenever you have a job or you're working for an agency, like there's a lot less responsibility, there's a lot less pressure. So yeah, I always encourage editors.
Absolutely. Like, when you are a freelancer, you are handling the task of 10 people at a time. You are the manager. You are, going to clean the bathrooms. You are handling all the accounting stuff. And then you are fulfilling the work at the same time. You are generating the invoices. But when you like jump into working with an agency, you just work like a cog in a machine. You are handling one task at a time. And I think we are human beings. We can only do one task efficiently. I think for video editors jumping into working with an agency, it's a lot less stressful and you can put 100% of your effort in, which will yield good results, not only in your career, but also, benefiting the agency, which will then benefit
Yeah.
you monetarily as well.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. And I think this model too of these US agencies, I mean, it's no secret that a lot of US agencies are looking for, I mean, some of them are looking for like really cheap work overseas. If you look at these agencies online, they even talk about it, how they go and find like editors from the Philippines for like $500 for a full-time employee for a month. I get that like you can find cheap work overseas. Um, for us at MMG though, like sure it's nice to have a discount on labor, but we're not looking for cheap editors. We want most of all we want good reliable editors, and sometimes that's hard to find in US based editors. Sometimes they could just go and find another opportunity, but when we find these editors from overseas, that job working with a US based agency means a lot more to them. So yeah, it's interesting. When I started this community for video editors, my my goal initially was to start a community, and I imagined I would be talking to a bunch of Americans. You know, I'm an American. Uh, my experience as a video editor, progressing through my career and becoming successful, has been in the United States, working with United States clients. I'm sharing my experience with my personal brand, and that's what my experience is. It just so happened that, and I was unaware of like the whole world, outside of my country, you know. Um, and it just so happened that like my content just resonates the most with people from other countries. So you'll see inside the Video Editor Collective, like I think we're only up to like 22 members now, but I would say like 18 of them are from other countries. There's maybe only 2 or 3 from the United States. Uh, and it's been really cool. It's opened my eyes to like the world of video editing from all around the world. So, we got a bunch of editors from Pakistan. I had no idea that there are any editors in Pakistan for that matter, like I don't know what it's like over there. I don't know if you guys even have internet. I didn't know that. Like as an American, I'm like we're naive to that kind of thing. So it's been cool to see all these editors you know from Pakistan, from India. We got a good editor from Algeria. Even like Eastern Europe. Christie's from Romania. It's been really cool to get to know these people from all around the world, and now it's kind of like the new direction that I'm taking this community. Like, yeah, I still love US editors. Like I want to network with them too. I want to help them too, and I certainly can. That's where my experience comes from. But I've kind of stumbled into this new opportunity of like, hey, if I can find these great editors from overseas, pair them with opportunity in the United States, like man, it's a win-win for both sides. Tell me your experience as like someone from the opposite side of the world, like looking into the United States. What does that look like to you?
Yeah, so first of all, like I for surely knew that people from US they wanted my services, and
Yeah,
for surely I can offer them at a price that is a lot less from what they're charging in the US. So I think that really
yeah,
helped me.
yeah.
It also benefits the agencies in the US.
Yeah, it really is a win-win for both sides. I mean, there are some agencies that like I mentioned that are really looking for like cheap work. And I don't agree with that. Like, I think you need to pay someone a livable wage. I think you need to pay someone even if they are from the Philippines, like people shouldn't be working for pennies. I think there's tons of opportunity from businesses in the West or in the US that are looking for good talent. And sure, they're going to get a little bit of a discount, but first and foremost, they want talent. And it's been cool from my point of view, getting to be a little bit of that middleman. So not only like because I have some opportunity to offer, like I manage video editors for companies in the US, and now I'm starting to hire editors from overseas. I do have a lot of US editors that work for me, and they're great, but it's been cool to be this middleman between the US and these editors like you from other countries. I do have other marketing agencies in my network that need video editors. So, and people also, like, I'm starting to grow this personal brand. Other agencies from the US find me, they message me on Instagram, and they ask where they can get an editor from. Well, now I have a bunch of them. So I've been able to connect editors from within our community with US business owners and US video agencies. And that's something I want to do a lot more of. And I even want to I want to build that even more into the community where like maybe I'm even running some paid ads of myself targeting business owners in America, letting them know that I have video editors from
Yeah.
overseas that are good, reliable, dedicated, and they're cheaper than a US editor. So like it's almost part of like my business plan going forward. In fact, you'll get a kick out of this, and I'm still surprised that I got it. But the other day I was listening to a marketing podcast for there's a marketing company here in the US. They're really big. They're called Bad Marketing. I think the CEO's name is Eddie Malouf. And I like his podcast. I like marketing. And he had some guys on his podcast, and they were talking about this whole thing about like US marketing companies hiring like cheaper labor, like we were just discussing. And there's these guys that they started a company where they provide they provide employees from like Latino countries. So it's like cheaper labor. And they were just like, I was listening to the podcast, and they were talking about their business model. It got me thinking like, hey, I'm already kind of onto something here. I'm like already becoming like this middleman between like, yeah, I got all these really good outsourced editors, but then I also know all these agencies and business owners in the United States. So I went on to GoDaddy, and I just had this thought in my mind, and I bought the domain. Get this, I bought the domain remotevideoeditors.com. Do you believe that was available? Remotevideoeditors.com. Like, how was that available? I bought it for $12 just to have it. And now like I could just put like a landing page on that domain name, because there's definitely tons of people in the US that are Googling like, hey, where can I get a cheaper video editor? Where can I, and when they think about cheaper video editor, like it's always like remote, like where can I get a remote video editor? I could just put like a form on that page that directs them to me, and then I become a middleman to connect, a US business owner to a remote video editor from overseas. So yeah, so a lot to think about, but it's an interesting where this community.
I think like when we are talking about cheap stuff, I think that when you are not paying enough to the employee that is working with you, even if it's remote, like when he is just like trying to survive on the pay that you give him, he will not produce top quality work because you are not just paying him enough that, is going to change his life. For example, if $600 is enough for a person working in a third world country, that can change his lifestyle. It will also improve the work quality that he does for the company. And if you are paying like, let's say $200, for sure you are getting cheap work done, but the quality that you will expect from the person who is working for you, he is not making top dollar, so he is just scraping by. It will also affect the work quality, and he cannot invest the money that you give him back to his business.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
So he won't be buying a new PC to edit faster. He won't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's gonna be stressed a lot because he's not making ends meet financially. He's probably struggling to pay the bills. So you don't have a good employee showing up every day. because
Yeah,
their life isn't in order, because let's face it, having financial problems is like one of the biggest problems you can have and one of the most stressful things. So yeah, there needs to be that middle ground of like, paying somebody enough and then like the business getting a discount, on wages, right? So, and yeah, at MMG, like, as you know, like, we didn't try to undercut you on what we pay you. We want to like we,
absolutely.
we want to pay you a wage that's good enough for you, and I think we were able to do that. Yeah. And like, as you grow with the company, hopefully we're able to pay you more, like, especially if you grow into this role that I'm working in, where you know I'm the lead editor. I'm handling all the hard projects. I'm managing the team of video editors. As this company grows, like, new opportunities, just like any company, new opportunities open up, and with that, higher pay as well.
Yeah, like as I am bringing more value to the table, I get, I deserve, getting
Yep.
paid more.
Yep. 100%. 100%. Now, we were talking a little bit about, yeah, just like this whole like editors from overseas and like clients in the US kind of thing. What have some challenge, like, what are the challenges of editors in a country like Pakistan? Like, what are some challenges? Yeah, just in general, to like, yeah, to work with US, to find high paying clients, like, just to start a career with video editing. What kind of challenges does someone in Pakistan face?
So, first of all, the biggest challenge is getting the money into your bank account. Unfortunately, we don't have PayPal, Wise, big payment gateways that all of the people from overseas use. It's
Yeah.
really challenging for a new video editor who doesn't have much connections, who doesn't have much knowledge about, how to get access to PayPal, how to get access to Wise in Pakistan. It's the biggest challenge of them all. And then I think comes the language barrier. As English is not our first language,
Mm,
we have
yep.
difficulties speaking English.
So yeah, great points. I think, yeah, the language barrier is another thing. As like a US agency or US business owner, like, when we are hiring editors from overseas, like, we are expecting somewhat of a language barrier. Like, I'm not expecting your English to be perfect even right now talking to you, like, I know it's not your native language, but we need to be able to communicate. So, I always tell editors from overseas, like, yeah, your English needs to be good enough, but only good enough to communicate. So, like, I don't think you need to stress if your English isn't perfect, because as an American, like, I don't care if your English is perfect. I know you're not from the United States. So, like, I'm expecting a little bit of a language barrier, but if I can communicate with you and we can get our ideas across, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it doesn't hurt to get better at English. It just gives you more
Yeah.
more more.
I mean, like, it's all about hopping on calls, hopping on sales calls,
Yeah,
and practicing your speaking skills every day. That's how you get better at
that
talking.
makes sense. I think another thing that I think about too, about the language thing, like, most people in America don't speak two languages. I took, like, my personal experience. I took 4 years of German when I was in high school. I took 2 years of German in college. I've been to Germany 3 different times, and I still don't speak German. And most people in America could probably say the same thing. I know there's a lot of parts of America where people speak Spanish and stuff like that, but in general, most Americans don't speak two
Yeah.
languages. So the fact that you do is impressive. You speak more languages than me, and most Americans could say the same thing. So I've talked with a couple other editors from overseas, and they're kind of like really self-conscious on
Mhm.
their English. Like I said, as long as you can communicate and get your ideas across, I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think that, you don't have to be the best at talking in English. If you are just getting your point across and your clients understands that perfectly, then I think, you are good to go.
Yep, you got the job done.
You don't have to be an Oxford dictionary,
Yeah,
you know.
for sure, for sure. You also mentioned like the whole payment gateway thing. It's crazy. It's like, from the United States, like that's just unheard of for us, like for us it's really easy, like to tap a button on your phone and send a payment to anybody in the United States with two clicks. There's many different apps to do it. There's many different platforms. So it's crazy to hear about the problems that you guys face, just like receiving a payment for the work that you did, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but hopefully, within our community here that we're building, I'm finding these problems, by finding guys like you and editors in other parts of the country. You have experience that I don't, like I'm an editor, but I don't have experience as an editor from Pakistan or from any other third world country. Like I don't know what it's like to be an editor in these countries. So like getting to know these type of things, and there's a million other editors out there facing these same problems. So like I love having
Yeah.
knowledge from guys like you that can help other people, and now this knowledge is inside the community. I also just hired another member from our community named Zine to work for MMG recently. He's kind of getting started a little bit slow, maybe just like one project a month or one project a week here and there. I think he just finished like his third project, and he's been awesome. But we went to pay him. We use Wise to pay our outsourced editors. Wise is not available in Algeria, just like you said, in Pakistan. So like it's crazy that you guys face that problem, but hopefully like within this community that we're building, we're able to help other editors that face that problem get around the problem. Like I think it's probably the same for you. Like you got to set up an LLC in another country and like bank accounts in other countries, and like like it's a whole
Yeah.
process, but there is a way to do it, and you know the way. So I think at some point maybe we'll even do a whole podcast or something on like, hey, this is how you collect payment from a US company as an editor from from India, Pakistan, Africa.
Absolutely, I'm down for that, man.
So I think it's good knowledge to have. Yeah, I see you. I mean, you've been one of my first members, one of the first people in this movement that I've started. This is our first episode of the podcast, and hopefully people found some value from it. But I see you as an integral part of this podcast, as an integral part of the community in general. Obviously, you edit a lot of my content, so I'd love to have you back on this podcast, and and just do the same thing. We got a lot of things we could discuss. We got a lot of knowledge we could pull from you, based on your experiences as an editor from Pakistan, and then just like random video editing stuff that we love to talk about. Sub and I are on WhatsApp almost every day, just shooting the shit and talking about daily life as video editors, and I think a lot of other people could relate. So yeah, looking forward to having you on again. I do see some more episodes in the future where I'll just jump on solo and I'll kind of talk about things that are on my mind on topics that could help editors. I got a lot of things in my mind that I got to get out. So I do see some solo episodes. I'm going to be bringing other editors from in the community onto the podcast, just to share experiences from editors from all around the world, and even doing like treating these as like coaching calls. Like pretty much all the editors that join the Video Editor Collective so far, I've been able to do one-on-one calls with, and really and one-on-one coaching calls, just to like I love getting to meet them, but I want to meet all these early members within the community, just to build that foundation and that relationship, and have some strong members early on in the community that are going to stay around and that I have a good relationship with. I think we've done a good job at that, so I'm going to be bringing them onto the podcast as well. Maybe even some new members that join, instead of offering a one-on-one coaching call, because normally that's something I charge $200 for. If you were just to get on a coaching call with me, like my time's pretty valuable. I have so much client work I should be doing, but I do offer my time for sale. If you just want to buy my time and I'll coach you on what I think you should do with your video editing career, that time is there. But still at this point, if you join the community, you get a free one-on-one call with me. Like I said, I charge $200 for that. But if you want to join the community, like I want to get to know you. And the community's still, I mean, it's right now, I need to raise the prices. It's only $19 a month right now to join. You get a free one-on-one call with me when you join. Not only do you get like the course material and stuff that I have in there, a couple digital products, you get this brand new website landing page that I just built for video editors. I think if you're a video editor and you don't have a portfolio, it's a no-brainer to even just to join the community for a month for $19, just to get this website template that I built. It's designed for video editors, just to go out and, it's super easy to customize, and then you can begin selling services, video editing services right away. So yeah, these are the type of things that I'm working on in this community. This is the vision I have for this podcast. Really just looking to get the word out more and more about this movement that I'm trying to start for video editors to make a living doing this, to find higher paying clients, and to learn the sales and the marketing. Like I always say, video editing is easy to learn. Learning how to get paid work is not easy, but there is a way. And that's what I'm here for. I guess we'll start wrapping this up. Do you have any other topics that you want to touch on?
Like you said, we have a lot of things to discuss, and we are really short of time on this podcast.
Yeah.
I will be really happy to jump back on again to discuss more things that with time I have gathered, and to share my knowledge with new and aspiring video editors, and just to make this a valuable podcast.
Awesome. Yeah, really appreciate you jumping on this first one. I'm sure you'll be a regular guest on this podcast. I think we had about five more topics to discuss that we were planning to discuss on this episode. We'll save those for the next one. I think we hit on a lot of valuable things already, and looking forward to seeing where we take this. So thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it, Sub.
Thank you, Ben, for having me. It was nice talking to you.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thanks for joining. I know this is the first episode. We'll see if anybody actually makes it to this point and hears this. But if you did, I really appreciate you. Stay tuned for what's to come. Like I said, I got big ideas for this movement. I'm really just trying to free up more and more of my time to dedicate to helping as many video editors as I can. I always say that it only takes one connection to change your entire career. I can look back at my 14 to going on 15-year career as a video professional since 2010. I can look back at that whole career, and I could name the 3 to 5 people that I met throughout those 15 years that changed everything for me. If I wouldn't have met those people, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So like, your job as a video editor is to start with one person at a time. You have to make those connections, whether it's a client, it's an agency owner, it's another video editor, it's someone like me. Like, I want to be that connection for as many editors as I can. I like to think I'm that connection for you, Sub, and and I have responsibility to be that connection for you. Like, I want to be that connection. I want to, like, it's so valuable for me to be able to, like, help somebody from across the world and change their life. Like, it's so rewarding for me. I want to do that more and more. I'm already starting to do that. I know I am with other editors in the community. I've been able to provide some other work opportunities, just what I'm teaching. Like, I want to be that connection for as many editors as I can. And that's the goal of this movement. So yeah, if you made it this far in the podcast, really appreciate you tuning in, and stay tuned for what's to come. See you next time.